Hello, it's very good to have you with us on ERi-TV. This is English news broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara at exactly 10:30 p.m. First, the top stars. President Isaias Afwerki returns home. Vocational training provided to youth in Imnahaili subzone. India train crash, more than 260 dead. Japan's birth rate hits record low. President Isaias Afwerki in the morning hours of today returned home, concluding 5-day fruitful first official visit to the Russian Federation. During his stay in Russia, President Isaias Afwerki met and held extensive discussions with President Vladimir Putin and other senior Russian government officials on strengthening bilateral relations and cooperation between Eritrea and the Russian Federation, as well as on global issues of interest to the two countries. At the meeting of the two leaders, President Vladimir Putin said that the first official visit of President Isaias to Russian Federation will contribute highly to the development of bilateral ties. President Isaias, on his part, urged Russia to play its appropriate role with peace and justice, aspiring peoples to a certain transition to civilized international order. The presidential delegation include Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Ambassador Zameda Tegle, Commissioner of Culture and Sports. The National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in Imnahaili subzone organized 3 months vocational training to 261 youth in the subzone. According to Ms. Shawit Welda, head of the union branch in the subzone, the training program included first aid, satellite dish installation, video camera, basic computer application, as well as drama and dance. Speaking at the conclusion event of the training on 29th May, Mrs. Terhas Faqadu, acting administrator of the subzone, commending the union branch for organizing the training program, called on the trainees to apply the training they were provided in improving their livelihoods. Mr. Girmay Gabru, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the southern region, on his part said that the training program was in continuation of the effort to develop the overall capacity of the youth. Commending for the training opportunity they were provided, representatives of the trainees expressed readiness to develop their capacity practically on the ground. We are live on ERi-TV. Stay tuned for international news. At least 261 people have been killed and 1,000 are injured in a crash involving 3 trains in India's East Odisha state. One passenger train derailed on the adjacent track and was struck by the incoming train on Friday, also hitting a nearby stationary freight train. A massive recovery operation is underway after hundreds of emergency workers searched the wreckage. The cause of the India's worst train crash in over 20 years is not yet clear, while officials say several carriages from the Coromandel Express traveling between Kolkata, formerly Calcutta, and Chennai, formerly Madras, derailed about 1300 GMT in Balasore district after hitting a stationary goods train. Several of its coaches ended up on the opposite track. More than 200 ambulances and hundreds of doctors, nurses, and rescue personnel were sent to the scene, the state's Chief Secretary Paradip Jena said. The Director General of Odisha Fire Service had earlier said 288 had died. All trapped and injured passengers have been rescued. It's not clear how serious the injuries of those taken to hospitals were. Work to restore the site of the crash began, India's Southeastern Railway Company said yesterday. Japan's birth rate declined for the seventh consecutive year in 2022 to a record low, the health ministry said on Friday, underscoring the sense of crisis gripping the country as well as population shrinks and age rapidly. The fertility rate of the average number of children born to a woman in her lifetime was 1.25. That compares with the previous low of 1.26 posted in 2005 and is far below the rate of 2.07 considered necessary to maintain a stable population. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has made arresting the country's sliding birth rate a top priority, and his government, despite high level of debt, plans to earmark spending of 3.5 trillion yen, which is $25 billion a year on childcare and other measures to support parents. The youth population will start decreasing drastically in 2030s. The period of time until then is our last chance to reverse the trend of dwindling birth, he said this week while visiting a daycare facility. The pandemic has exacerbated Japan's demographic challenge, with fewer marriages in recent years contributing to fewer births and COVID-19 partly responsible for more deaths. The number of newborns in Japan slid 5% last year, a new low, while the number of deaths shot 9%. More than 47,000 deaths in Japan last year were caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Now we have a quick review of the top stories. President Isaias Afwerki returns home. Vocational training given to youth in Haile subzone. India train crash, more than 260 dead. Japan's birth rate hits record low. That was all with the news for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.